Hello and welcome back to another video, or a series type thing if you wish. I think this is more of an introduction to it, even though there's a lot of jobs we've done on it. It's called Project 135. This is a 135 in case you didn't know. No, but this has been going on for years actually. It's only been about 2 or 3 years since we done. Well, actually, it could be even 4 or 5 years since we done the head gasket in it and got it started and running. And then we left it sitting for a couple of years, and then we went back at it, sort of fast and furious, if you wish. We really got our heads down and done a lot of work on it, and then sort of stopped again. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a rundown on what we've done so far on the tractor, what to expect from future videos of Project 135, and stuff like that. If I can get a screenshot of if I can get a screenshot or a picture of what this tractor used to look like, I do have a video in the shorts section of my YouTube channel of the first time starting this tractor, so I might be able to get a screenshot there. We also have a very old photo gallery of this tractor when the shed wasn't even put up, so it's really old. That album is probably 10 or even 12 years old. So if I can find it, get my hands on it, I can take a few pictures of the pictures and show it to you on screen. If I don't, and there's no picture coming up on the screen now, I either forgot, which I highly doubt it, or I just couldn't find the album. But anyways, let's get into it. There's a new radiator on it there, as you can see. Obviously I mentioned about the head gasket and the gasket and all that. There's a new blade in there, if you can see it. Yeah, it's new, I think. There's also brand new brake drums on it, on each side, as you can see. I think we still have the old ones, so if I can find them, I'll show you them. Here are the old ones. So yeah, they were pretty effect altogether. So yeah, it really needed new ones. And I remember doing something with the front axle, because we had the axle off it at one point. But I don't know what we were doing with it. I don't know, is there a new axle pin in it or something? I can't remember what we done, but we did have the axle off the tractor altogether. I know that much. And I think, as you may be able to see, it's clear as day. All the sort of bodywork is stripped off it. The wings, the steps, the seat. There was a bonnet on it a couple of years back. This was a really long time ago. As I mentioned, it was in the photo gallery we have. But this was about 10 years ago that there was a bonnet just basically sitting on top of it. It wasn't sort of on it properly, if you know what I mean. It was just loose, just like if it was just thrown on top of the engine and just sitting basically on top of the engine, if you know what I mean. But we got rid of that years ago. We don't even have it on the farm. We scrapped it years and years ago. We also done an oil change on it. If I'm able to get a clip of it, I think it was with the brother that recorded a clip, so if I'm able to get it off him, if he still has it, I'll put it into this video and you'll be able to see what I wouldn't call it oil, it was more sort of stained water, if anything else. But he gave it an oil change and put brand new oil in it, new engine oil, gearbox oil, the whole shebang. As I mentioned, we stripped everything off, including the seat, the link arms as well. Most of the stuff that we took off are just basically on this little bench right beside it, so we can have a closer look at them as well, actually, while we're at it. That's the handbrake for it. But the button on that is seized. I don't think that's ever going to work again. We might have to get a brand new one of them. This is what the seat does be on when it, because when you're able to fold the seat down on the tractors just like you are on the Brown or our own 135 as well. You can sort of fold it down, and that's what the seat was connected to, just to sort of fold it over the steering wheel. Or does it fold back on a 135? I know on the Brown it folds forward up against the steering wheel, but I'll have a look at our own 135 as well and see what way the seat folds, because I think it could be back, but we'll have a look at it. I don't know, there's some part of me thinking, or sort of remembers it folding backwards, sort of back towards the link arms and stuff, and I don't know why. But we have our own sort of 135 here. You'll see it in a minute. You've seen it in many videos, and we'll see which way the seat folds back. Right, moment of truth. Sort of goes forward a small bit. Yep, folds back. And if that will stay, that's the piece that we were looking at just a second ago. So it's sort of good to have another 135 as well, so you can sort of look at one of the 135s and then say, oh, I know where that bit goes on the one that we're trying to fix. So it actually is quite handy having two of them. So that's for the seat. This here connects the lift to the link arms on the tractor. Here's a better view of it. This bit here connects to the lift on the tractor, and this end here connects to the lift arms in any of those three holes there. So this end here connects here, goes all the way down, connects to the link arms. The link arms then are connected to the back of the tractor here, and then this then is connected to that. And that's how it really works, but I'll show you anyways on our own 135, because it's just easier that way. Again, as it's quite handy that we have a 135 that's actually fully functioning and fully built, I might as well show you what it looks like put together, because I'm not really good at explaining things, but when I have a template to look at and then I can talk over it while showing you, it's just more easier that way for me and you. There it is there. You can see the top bit is connected to the lift. The bottom bit then is connected onto the link arms. And that's technically what it looks like. And when we put it together on the other 135, it'll look the same as that. But that's the lift arm and the lift and all that sort of jazz. Now these big bad boys here, they sit within at the back of the tractor, so then you can put like a stabilizer bar. Again, we can show you with the other one, but that's what that is. You put a stabilizer bar there, and then you go out and then you put the stabilizer bar on with this, the link arms, whatever attachment you're putting it on, just to sort of stop it shaking as much. But I can go over and show you them on our own 135 as well. That's that piece there that I was on about. The stabilizer bar goes onto that, and then you connect it onto whatever attachments you wanted to put it on, and that stops it from shaking as much. It's on this side as well. That's it, just there. I cannot reach to it because I'm squished in between the tractor and the box, but it's on both sides. That's it there. We have a brand new one of these as well. These sit between the wheel of the tractor and the brake drums. It's that bit there. Just this bit here. So we have a brand new brake drum, and my brain has gone dead. A brand new one of them. Fuck, what's the name? I don't know. It'll probably come to me later on in the video, but my brain has gone dead. And they're on both sides, as you can see. So brand new brake drums and whatever the fuck they're called again. So we've spent we have spent quite a bit of money actually on this, and most of these parts are from quality tractor parts. Most people would say no, they're a load of shit and all that. Some of their tractor parts can be of low quality, so you know, you don't always have high expectations for them because they're not making the actual stuff for them. Well, they are, but they wouldn't be sort of the original, what they would have been made of and how would they be made back when the actual 135 was made back in the 60s and 70s. They're not going to be made as good as they were back then, because in all fairness, nothing is as good as they were made back in the day. Tractors, cars, any other appliances that you have in a kitchen or whatever. I think that's most of the parts there covered. That box and that box just have small little fittings within them. It's nothing too major, nothing too exciting. Just little fittings that came off the tractor. That's the lift pin. That goes, I think it's this side. Goes on like that. Yeah, it's just a load of different fittings. And that box is the same. Now, also, these wheels weren't on it when we were doing most of the work on it. The front of it was sort of jacked up on barrels. But the wheel wouldn't spin, or the wheel wasn't on it, so this bit here wouldn't spin. So we got a bit of heat on it, and we heated it up here. Both sides was the same. So we got we got gas at it, and gave it a bit of heat, and eventually it started turning, and then we greased it up, and now it's running no bother. And the whole tractor itself is running and moving. Obviously there's no seat on it, but we throw a cushion on it and away we go. On a temporary basis, we have the oil pressure here because we needed to have it on it to monitor the oil pressure and all that. But that's just there on a temporary basis because it's actually fitted directly on the oil pressure monitor gauge thing. But once we have it all finished and the dash and everything on it, we'll bring it all the way up and stick it in the dash itself and allow it all the other sort of dials and stuff. The brother also done the diff lock because it was seized as well, and it's still sort of stiff, but it's not as bad as it. I think it was sort of stuck down actually. I think the diff lock was on it all the time, so we got that fixed. But the only problem is, there's another problem with it. It's awful high. It's not sitting right. It's not right itself. So that needs to be adjusted and fixed. Another problem that needs to be adjusted and fixed is the lift. Because when you turn on the engine, the lifts will fly up. But they won't go down. You would have to normally sort of lean really hard on it. I basically fucking get my two arms and put my whole body weight on it then, if you know what I mean. And I only weigh about 60-ish kg, and I would push it down, and it'll go down very, very slowly. So we have a contact that's he works with lifts and all that, so we need to send it off to him at some point and get that sorted. But it's within here the problem is. I think it's the draft control or something it's called. Again, my brain has gone dead, so if the problem is in there, and we're going getting it fixed, and hopefully when we get it back, we want to get the lift done first, send it off, get the lift done, and I don't know when that's going to be. As I mentioned, we start this tractor for a week, do work on it, leave it about a year or two, and then do more work on it again. That's how slow the process is, but whenever that is, hopefully sometime in the spring, we'll get that lift sorted, and then we can continue doing our own work on it. Now, just so we could start it and drive it around the place, we have the battery usually sits in the tray there, so we have this lead, the wire connected to it, and it's connected to a button all the way down to the dynamo or alternator or whatever, and you just press the button when the battery's connected and it would start. Well, probably take a couple of turns of the engine now to start it, because it hasn't been started in a while, but it'll start and it's moving. What I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to do with the series as well. Obviously this is just an introduction. Back when we actually started work on it, I had no plans of recording the work we done on it, but now I feel like I might. So the next time we're doing work on this, I will try and get a few sneaky cheeky clips in there of us doing jobs. Obviously it depends who's around the tractor. We do have a load of different people every time we're working on it, around it, doing stuff, and the majority of them don't want themselves being recorded and then being put up on the internet and all that, and so you have to respect other people's privacies. But again, I'll try and get a few sneaky cheeky clips as well the next time we're doing something on it. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, this is just a diesel tank. It's obviously temporary, but this is to turn on and off the diesel. So when it's not being started or anything, it'll prevent it from leaking and all that. But it's just a temporary job, so we could get it out and about, moving into the actual workshop and all that, and then put it back in here so it's not using up room in the workshop for other projects. Yeah, so the next time we're doing something on it, I will try and get a few clips, and that's what I'm hoping for the series, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess now, just to sum it up very quickly, we stripped it down. We took the wings, the seat, the dash, the steps. We stripped that all off. There was even a roll bar on it. We took that off it. That's actually just here. So we'd probably be putting that back on it again to make it sort of road legal and stuff, cleaning it up and painting it and all that. But we stripped it down. There's a new radiator on it. There's new brakes on it. As you can see, new brakes. There's a new fan blade in it and a new fan belt in it. We put gas here because these wouldn't turn, they were seized, so we put gas on it and then grease in it for both sides, and they eventually started turning and are working well now. They're doing what they're supposed to do anyways. We split her, we gave her an oil change, engine oil, gearbox oil, the whole shebang. The lift isn't working properly, so we need to get that sorted. We done the head and the gasket in it as well, so there's more or less brand new stuff in there as well. And I think that's more or less that summed up what I was explaining in the whole video. There's probably going to be more new parts going to be put onto it. We have our own parts that we took off the tractor. Any of them that are salvageable, we'll clean them up, tidy them up, paint them, whatever, stick them back on. And, you know, there's no point buying every single part we took off on this brand new parts, because there's a few parts here that'll work no bother at all. All you need us to do is clean them up and stuff. The likes of this could be cleaned up for the seat. These could be cleaned up for the and painted and all that. We have wings in there, they're second hand. We'll clean them up, give them a fresh coat of paint as well. But yeah, we've spent a lot of time and a lot of money as well into this little project. But that's basically it. Hopefully we'll be doing something on it soon, and I can make a video or a couple out of it. But that will be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it and you want to see more, please give me a thumbs up, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and then press the bell notification then to be notified of every future video. And I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.